The first part I'm going to go through here is called Google Plus as an ecosystem. And this is for people who don't necessarily understand that there's two aspects to Google Plus. The first aspect is that Google Plus has a social destination part to it. So this is where you have content and it's in the stream. The second part of Google Plus is really where it extends out into the rest of Google's products and services. And this is where it's an ecosystem. So we have a social destination, and then we have what Google call a social layer that goes across their products and services. So the first part of this presentation is going to cover that. The second part is very much around the marketing, and the third part is then some to-dos for you. The first part is a way of understanding that, and we go to the next slide. Dramatic pause. Google Plus is Google. So when people say that, it takes a little moment to understand that Google Plus is the next generation of Google. It's the upgraded social layered version of Google, as well as being a social destination. So this part of the presentation is to start to help you join the dots about what has happened really over the past few years. So Travis, as we move through, I'll just say when we want to move on. Let's begin. The social destination is where you see posts, content in your stream, and you can share content from a profile, which is for individuals, for people, or from a page, which is for a business or a brand. Difference between profiles and pages. You see at the top of this image that there is a share box, and if you go to the next slide, please, Travis, you'll see, oh, actually, before we get to the next bit, you'll see that there's also, in the social destination aspect, that there are communities. And, nope, stick with it, Travis. There we go. So there are Google Plus communities. So you can share content, but also you can connect with people who are into what you are into. And you can even build communities. Now, go on to the next slide, and you'll see that there's a lot of businesses here, there's a lot of people engaging, and this is a little conversation when I was chatting with Cadbury UK, and brands are here. They are getting a lot of benefit, and they are building relationships. If you don't know what twirls are, picnics and boosts, then they're all chocolate bars in the UK, which was a hilarious pun comment, and I had to include it. Okay, next one. So when you share, you can share content into communities. Check out the community guidelines. You can share posts to public, so everyone sees it, or you could share, for instance, to circles that you've made up. And I've made up two circles here. One says friends, and the other says plus your business team. Now, if you build up these circles, if you build up these lists, you can notify these people by email as long as either they said yes or you know the people well and they're going to be pleased with receiving it. So you're able to market to people, to sell the ideas, to connect with them by email by using Google+. And you use circles as a way of differentiating your lists. Now, what we're going to be doing, if we move on to the next slide, Russ, we're going to start to use this principle now across the social layer. And one of the things that Google Plus has is highly integrated use within Gmail. So when you're in Gmail, you'll notice this more and more, that not only that Google Plus posts are appearing and you can engage with them within Gmail, but also you can add people to circles. You can change the circles they're in. So you can choose somebody, hover over, and then choose a particular circle. So circles are connected with Gmail, which is in the ecosystem. Okay, next slide. Then, based upon the people that you have in your network, if you have personalized search results switched on, then, and it's like, for instance, on google.com, then the people you have in your network will determine the nature of content you see in Google search. Now, this is a key thing. The people that you have in your network, when you have personalized search switched on, which is that little icon that you see at the top, little guy, and you see that on the side of the results when they are personalized, that is determined by the people you've connected with, and also from the engagement within your network. Now, the pictures that you see myself and you see Chris Bergen there, those are Google connected with Google authorship. And there's also a byline that's under that says the number of people that that have a person in circles, and it has my photo because I've tagged my face in it, and all of that is a way of connecting the content I create, both on a website, on other people's websites, the content I create on Google Plus, to my Google Plus digital identity. And this is really what it's about, is that Google Plus is a way of connecting your content all across the web and having it as a center, really. And that's a process of Google authorship. Okay, next slide. So we just had a quick look at search. We're going to come back to search in a moment. When somebody has a +1 button on their website, and this is a really thing, it's a big tip, you want to have this on your website if you have a blog. When you click that, if you go to the next slide, you'll see a familiar box. The same box appears as you have within the Google Plus social destination side. So even though you're on a website, which has come actually from clicking that link in search, this was the path through, then you are able to share to public, or you could share to the circles that you've set up, even notifying by email. So you have a way of finding content and sharing it directly with the people that matter to you most for that particular content. Okay, next one. Google Pages. So if you search in Google Plus and you look for something familiar like the London Science Museum, so the first thing we put in there, what you'll find very often is that there's a side aspect to that brand page which is appearing in Google search, and you click that and it will take you to the Google Plus page. Also, you can follow directly from search itself, and when you follow, you can put people into circles. So you'll see here that the brand page, the Google Plus page, is appearing in search when we look, and it's featured very well, and it ties into Maps, which has got a pin on it. Next one, please, Travis. So when you have this feature, and we're going to talk about the website a little more, if you have this button, for instance, on your website, then you will find that people will follow you from your website. You don't have to find you in Google Plus, although they do that as well. So by having the following button, you are likely to find that people add you in. Now here's the great thing about this. You know who they are. You get a notification. You can then put them into the right circle based upon the engagement that they're having, the nature of them. Could be a client, or their historic client, is it a friend, and so on. So you are choosing the categories that you're putting these people in. This is a great way of building relationships. This is building relationships one person at a time. Okay. Google AdWords. If you use Google AdWords, then you can add in social extensions, and you can show the reviews and the stars that you have there, as well as the number of people that have you in circles. So social extensions and AdWords are pulling data from Google Plus and your Google Plus presence. So again, this is a run-through of the ecosystem, and I'm just trying to show you little by little how Google Plus extends out of what people often think, which is the social destination, all the way through Google's products and services. Next one, please, Travis. Okay, if you have a smartphone, I believe the figure's gone up considerably now. I think it's around about 80%. So if you've got a smartphone, then you'll find that if you're not on iPhone, then very often you are on Android. Android is Google, and it's fully integrated with Google Plus, and you'll find that you'll feel within the ecosystem, and the information you're getting is based upon the connections that you have, and we'll go on to the next bit for that. So next bit, because Google now, very often, if you have that switched on, is giving you the right information for you at the right time based upon the unit that you're using a mobile, but also content that you're connected with. So we're getting very much into Google starting to deliver the right things for the right time to the right people. Okay, next one, please. Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts, most people know, or a lot of people know if they're using them, is very much integrated within Google Plus, but they are potentially seen as something which is also an aspect slightly outside. It's video call, but video call and text-based and image-based. But you can invite circles of people to your Hangouts, or you can invite public, or you can invite individuals, and the circles that you invite, for instance, are based upon Google Plus and the principles there. So Google Hangouts and Google Plus, we know, are very much combined together and work hand in hand. And lots of other things like that. Okay, next one. YouTube and the Hangouts on air. So another type of Hangout is a Hangout on air. Hangout on air is a live video broadcast, or it could be a private one, but it's whichever way, it's saved, it's stored on YouTube. Now, you can change the settings of that video so that if it's public, you could change it to unlisted so that anybody with the link can view, or to private. And guess what? With private, you can just choose a circle of people, and it's a circle of people who have a Google Plus account, and it's only them that can see that particular video you have. And you can do this with other videos on YouTube, because YouTube, world's second biggest search engine. Google Plus is Google's the biggest. They work hand in hand. As the same with Google Plus, when you click on the share button on a YouTube video, you'll bring up a familiar box. You can then share that video based upon who you want. For instance, the Two Circles team, or you can have more team and friends, either or public, or you could choose a circle and notify. So there's a lot of flexibility, and this is one of the challenges, is really helping people to understand the aspect of the ecosystem and how Google Plus goes far beyond what people are thinking about in terms of just the stream alone. Although this content will appear on Google Plus for those that have access to see it, based upon who you've shared it with. Okay, next. Still in the ecosystem, Google Drive. Google Drive, a wonderful collaboration tool. You can, for instance, in this case, you can share the link to the document. You can share it to a specific group of people. You can send them a message, and they can collaborate with you on that document. Google Drive is enormous, and it's one of my favorite things about Google Plus, because this is all part of the Google ecosystem. Google Plus is Google, and these are the reasons why. Okay, next. Calendar and events, same principle. You can be looking at managing your events. You can be sharing events based upon the circles that you've set up and inviting people. Okay, next one. Google Chrome. Chrome is the browser that many people are using to access Google Plus, and that is a way into the web. It's the thing that allows us to access. So with Google Chrome, you have a lot of Chrome extensions, a lot of flexibility. Google Chrome is a Google product, so again, you're part of the Google ecosystem. And this is the Google Plus, where Google Plus extends out and beyond. So when you are logged into Chrome, you're logged into your Google Plus account unless you've logged out of it. Okay, next. Chromebooks. In terms of hardware, this is a way for Chrome to be in a lot of businesses, and for people to have access straight through the browser into the web without a desktop, actually. So everything becomes web-based. So that is the Google Plus is Google overview, and the main reason to start is now is this is in the ecosystem. Being part of Google Plus allows you to reach out and to understand how everything starts to tie together. Now, the next part of this is going to start to become very much focused on marketing and looking at search results in particular. There's several aspects to marketing on Google Plus, search being one of them.